After landing two players in the portal in Kevin Overton and Federico, who are the latest names linked to the Red Raiders within the portal? We'll discuss that in today's video and what is the biggest current need for the 2024-2025 Texas Tech men's basketball roster. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. And listen, y'all know I like to get interactive here on the channel, so go down to the pinned comment and answer this for me. What is the biggest need for the Red Raiders in the portal right now? Okay. And I understand they have 6 scholarships remaining, but I want to hear from you guys. Do you think it's another big? Do you think it's more linked? Do you think they have to prioritize getting a primary ball handler? Let me know down on the pinned comment below. And while you're at it, you might as well like the video as well. All right, let's jump into the latest name that has been contacted by the Red Raiders and linked to the Texas Tech men's basketball program. And this is a preliminary stage. I want to point that out, okay? But this is the name that has been linked to Texas Tech as of late, and you may recognize him. It's Yohan Traore. Again, preliminary stages, but you may recognize the name for a reason that I'll mention here in just a second. 6'11", 235 from UC Santa Barbara, actually started his collegiate career at Auburn, has 2 years of eligibility remaining. And the reason that you may recognize this name if you're a Texas Tech fan is, well, let's just say that Texas Tech was recruiting him out of high school, and that recruitment process was interesting. We'll just leave it at that to, not go any further into the weeds there. Now, at UC Santa Barbara, Yohan averaged just about 14.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, and shot 58.3% from the field. As I mentioned, he did start his collegiate career at Auburn after being a top 5 center in the 2022 class and a 5-star recruit overall. Now, so far in this portal cycle, Texas Tech is recruiting him alongside the likes of Florida, Cincy, SMU, Arizona State, and many others, because let's face it, there's not a ton of great bigs within the portal. Texas Tech is very fortunate to get a guy like Feddy that is proven at the Power 5 level. Now, when it comes to Yohan, he is a physical center that can finish through contact. He has good touch and feel for a big man. I'm not saying he's going to shoot the lights out from outside of the paint, but he can go out to really the elbow free throw line area and have a solid mid-range jumper with touch. He's an okay post-up player, 64th percentile nationally, average 0.9 points per possession when posting up. Now, he understands spacing really well for a big. You don't see very many bigs close to the 70th percentile, when it comes to being a cutter. That's where he really thrived in terms of off the ball. Now, another place that, listen, if you watch these videos, you know what I like when it comes to offense. You sure as hell know what Grant McCasland likes when it comes to offense, because I mention it in damn near every video, and I sound like a broken record. Pick and roll, okay? Yohan is elite. And I mean an elite roll/pop man when it comes to the pick and roll, okay? He ranked 88th percentile nationally. He averaged 1.37 points per possession when he was the roll man in the pick and roll. Okay, he has a great feel in terms of slipping a screen and going towards the basket and keeping his hands readily available for the primary ball handler or the other person involved in the pick and roll. He also is a really good screener in general, knows how to use his size, stay within his shoulders, and really set a hard screen to maximize space off of the pick for the ball handler for his team. Now, I will say this, he's not the most high-flying big out there. He's not, the Tariq Owens. That's the easy comp in terms of high-flying big or a Zach Smith type guy. Not that at all if you're wanting that. But he understands and uses his body really, really well, and he's going to be a guy that is highly coveted in the portal by not just Texas Tech, but damn near every program in the country that is in need of a big. Now, when it comes to the fit for the Red Raiders, and again, this is very early on in the stages of his recruitment process, and it's the preliminary type stuff for Texas Tech. But in terms of the fit potential for the Red Raiders, I think Yohan would be exceptional alongside Feddy. I think they would be the perfect front court duo for this main reason. Feddy, more of a defensive guy. He's good in the pick and roll, and he's more of a lob threat, but he's more of a defensive player. Now, when it comes to Yohan, he's more offensively skilled than Fedi, but they complement each other in the sense of Yohan can play defense, but he is not as near the good defender as Fedi, just simple and plain. He's not. So I think they would complement each other really, really well. That being said, I know I've said it 3 times now. This is going to be an absolute dogfight for him in terms of his recruitment, and it could come down to money. Who knows? But Texas Tech has reached out early for Yohan, a guy that, well, some Texas Tech fans will know from his recruitment process. Again, the name is Yohan Traore, and it is a name to monitor for the Red Raiders in terms of adding another potential big within the portal. All right, let's talk about the 2024-2025 Texas Tech men's basketball roster as of April 18th. Okay, let's get this out of the way first because this was a nugget that I forgot to mention in another video, but it's a pretty damn important one. Darion Williams did announce via his Instagram that he will run it back at Texas Tech and come back for year number 2 in the Scarlet and Black for himself. So as of right now, April 18th, at the time of this recording, this is what the Texas Tech roster looks like. Okay, you've got Darion, obviously D5 coming back, Chance McMillan, Kevin Overton, and Fedi ×2. Those are the 2 portal commitments that you've landed, and Kevin Overton is actually already signed with the Red Raiders. That's a good thing to hear. You got Kerwin Walton. Devin Cambridge announced he would be coming back. You got Ameli Elahu. Then you got Jack Francis and Jazz Henderson Jr. Now, the last 2, Jack Francis and Jazz Henderson Jr., are walk-ons. As it stands right now, Texas Tech has 6 open scholarships. They're far from done, people. But in terms of the foundation, that's a pretty good one. Okay, you got some guys that you can really build around, specifically the main piece in Darion Williams, a guy that it would not shock me at all when if the Big 12 preseason poll comes out, he's not on the first team. He's that caliber of player. And if he's not on the first team, he better be on the second team all Big 12 preseason because Lord knows we will riot. But that being said, the biggest need for me right now, and again, I asked you guys at the beginning of the video, what is the biggest need for the Red Raiders in the portal right now? Okay. And again, it's on the pinned comment below. Let me know what your answer is there. For me, the biggest need for the Red Raiders is a primary ball handler. That said, I think they should be focusing and trying to evaluate talent in multiple areas. Now, I think this is kind of like a 40-30-30 type split in terms of the 3 things that I'm about to mention in terms of the priorities. I think primary ball handler should get that 40%. Then I think wings and another big should get the other 30%, because I think when it's all said and done, you need more length on this team. You've done a good job at adding some length, specifically in Kevin Overton and Federico as well, but also having Devin Cambridge come back. Those are 3 really lengthy guys, okay? You still need more. We saw that, Texas Tech really didn't have a lot of that last year, and it came back to bite them in a lot of ways. But I still think you need to focus on getting a primary ball handler, but I do want to say this on the primary ball handler front. If it doesn't happen quick, you got to remember when Joe Toussaint signed with the Red Raiders last year. I'll give you a second if you can't remember. July 4th. It was July 4th. Okay? I'm not saying that you're going to wait that long, but be patient on the primary ball handler aspect of it. Texas Tech has been in contact with some of them. We've discussed it here on the channel. Actually, just a couple videos ago here on the channel, if you want to go check that out in terms of some of the names. But that's kind of where I'm at right now in terms of the split, in terms of the priorities. I think primary ball handler should get 40% of the priority, and then wings and another big should be the 30% left over. In terms of 30% each, I guess 60% left over when it's all said and done. Again, one more time, what is the biggest need in your opinion for the Red Raiders right now in the portal? Let me know down on the pinned comment below. And while you're at it, you might as well like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell to join the largest group of Texas Tech fans here on YouTube. Almost 10,000 strong. Y'all are absolutely ridiculous, and I'm thankful for each and every one of y'all that tune in religiously for daily updates on your Texas Tech Red Raiders right here on the Back to 12 podcast channel.